All right, thank you very much. So the first song we played tonight was an arrangement of "The Beat Goes On." And if any of you are familiar with the pop duo that was popular way back when I was a kid in the '70s, it's a long time ago, Sonny and Cher. This was actually the Sonny and Cher. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Sonny and Cher. This was a tune that they did. If you had told me 10 years ago that I'd be doing a Sonny and Cher tune on a jazz band concert, I'd have laughed at you. This particular arrangement was done by Alan Baylock. He's arranged for the United States Air Force Jazz Ensemble and written a bunch of really great arrangements. And he teaches at the University of North Texas. So I was telling somebody earlier, this is kind of Harvard of being jazz. So it's a really fun arrangement. I featured a couple people. Let's see who we have on there. We had Skylar on the tenor saxophone. And on the drum set we had Jacob. And this next tune we're going to do is called Stolen Moments. It was written by Oliver Nelson. Came out on an album back in 1959 called Blues and the Abstract Truth. And it was a very influential album because the writing, he was using a lot of harmonies based on fourths rather than on thirds. And then he was using a lot of diminished type sounds in jazz in very unique ways. So a lot of people listen to this particular album and very influenced by it. And this particular arrangement of Stolen Moments takes a lot of things from that original recording. Some of the background figures are from some of the improvised solos that were in there. It's going to feature Alex on the trombone. And sitting in with us tonight on the piano, Dr. Chris Rosinski on the piano. This particular tune was written by Sammy Nestico. Sammy Nestico wrote for the famous Count Basie Orchestra, and also I mentioned earlier the United States Air Force. The United States Air Force band is called the Men of Note, and it's a fantastic jazz band. If you're not familiar, the military bases around the country have great bands, but the Washington-based bands are fantastic in particular. So, and the Airmen is actually but he wrote for that, and he's written hundreds of charts over the years, and he was writing well into his 90s. He passed away like last year, maybe the year before, but his music works really well for professional bands, but then also for student groups as well. So I always try to program as much as I can. I'm looking to see if he's back in. He's had performance drums. You may have a spare trumpet. Let's see, this particular one's got a feature. Let's see, Zoe Gill on the trombone, and then Chris again has got a solo drums. So as soon as we get Hayden back, we'll jump into it. Anybody know any good jokes? Oh, here we go. All right. Yay, that's good. Thank you. One of the things that we like to do, we have a departmental performance lab for our music students, and they perform for each other, and for the faculty, and they get comments. And one of the things that we like to do is when it's somebody's first time that they do that, we like to recognize them, because, you know, it's intimidating to do that, get up in front of your peers and your teachers and do that. And I like to do that with the jazz band, which is, that was Zoe's first trombone solo. Speaking of solo, there's a lot of solos on this team. So if you're new to jazz, sometimes the solos are written out. Most of the time they are not. And what that means is that the person who's creating the solo is creating it on the spot often. Sometimes they'll write out notes or they'll plan things in advance. But a lot of times they're improvising in the moment. So that's part of what makes this music so fun. It's very spontaneous. Sometimes it goes great. Sometimes it's like, oh, maybe not what I want to play. But that's all part of it. So this particular tune, we have 6 different solos. They're listed in your program. I'm not going to go through each one of them. But this is called Baja. I think you'll enjoy it. are quite different than the ones we've done so far. I told the guys in the band this was almost kind of like a symphonic band approach. This particular song was written by a jazz guitarist who became popular back in the 80s and 90s, named Captain Theme. He had kind of a different approach to jazz. It's kind of a little bit of a jazz fusion thing, but also some classical stuff kind of mixed in with it. So, but his writing is just really gorgeous, beautiful stuff. So this is a big band arrangement of a tune that he originally wrote for a smaller combo. But it has some really cool colors in it, and the harmonies and the melody. It's such a gorgeous tune. I think you'll enjoy it. Written a whole lot of music over the years, like probably a few hundred charts, a lot of them for school groups. He was very passionate about writing for junior high bands, high school bands, but then after he became more popular, he started writing some more professional charts. This one kind of falls a little bit in between both of those. This is a shuffle, which is kind of a fun feeling chart that moves along here. I think you'll enjoy this. It's called a center. I'd like to say just a real quick word. This week we ran our One Big Give campaign. We had several donors that donated to the music department. And if you're one of those people out there on Facebook, or if you're here, I'm actually bleeding. I don't know if you guys know. When I adjusted the microphone, I caught my finger on that last two. If you're one of the donors, we truly appreciate that. All the money that was donated goes straight to helping the students out, and we certainly do appreciate it. So this last tune that we're going to do before I seek medical attention is called Sticks. It was written by a guy named Julian Ackley, better known as Cannonball Ackley, a great jazz saxophonist from